What up, everybody? Just finished watching the first two episodes of X-Men 97. Yes, if you didn't know, they brought back the show from the 90s. Same timeline for the most part. I think there's 3 or 4 of the voice actors returned. The other ones, may you rest in peace. And so those characters got new voice actors. I can't remember exactly which ones, but I know Storm, Wolverine, and a couple of others, same voice actors, which is amazing. At the beginning, I was a little edgy and skeptical because the new animation style, but I was proven wrong in like the first 2 minutes watching the show. I was completely on board with the animation. It's not that big of a change. It is really sick how they did it. They kept the old school style of it from the 90s, but it just looks a lot crispier and cleaner. It doesn't look as ruggy, you know what I mean, like the old shows did. So there's just a lot more of like a clear picture, but it still has that 90s feel to it. They pulled it off really good, and the aesthetic and the setting, everything. It's not going to be a long video. I just want to talk about how much these first 2 episodes, how goddamn good they are, and I can't wait for more. Like I said in my other video, I did grow up with the show, but I was more into Spider-Man when I was a kid. When that was on, that's what I was watching from like the 90s, with like all the villains were in it. If X-Men was on, I would watch it, but when I was a little kid, I wasn't, balls to the walls for the X-Men. I was Spider-Man, Venom, more of like a Batman kind of thing. But if X-Men was on, I would watch it. So I definitely do have nostalgia for the show. But over the years, I've begun to like the X-Men a lot more. I would say like during COVID, I got really bored of, Avengers, and looked up like just different teams. I was like, I completely forgot about the X-Men. Like, went back, watched all the Fox movies. I saw Dark Phoenix. I have all the games, so definitely played a big role in my childhood. Wolverine, Cyclops are some of the best characters ever in Marvel history. Jesus, I was running out of breath there. But yeah, the show just, as soon as you start it, the theme song's the same. The animation is great. The characters are just picking up from right where we left off, in the 90s. I didn't get to watch like the last episode, but like I did see what happens. I know what happens. I didn't get to see every single episode of the 90s show, but I did hear it was only supposed to be 1 season, got stretched out into 5, and a lot of it felt like filler, and then it got good again near the end, of course. So I didn't see every episode, but I have seen a lot of it, and this is just perfect. I have no complaints. Like I said, it just picks up right where the other show left off. And it's crazy to think that all these years later, after the shitty couple years Marvel has had with their movies, and this comes out and it's like perfect. It's crazy how good they can just get right back into the animation. Okay, we'll pick up the storyline. You can tell they're really caring about like the dialogue, especially. It's not too cookie cutter. It's like the old show. It's basic when it needs to be. It can get pretty mature when it needs to be. There's some adult themes there when it needs to be. There's a lot of variety of things, and they didn't change the overall like adultness of like, I don't know if that's a word, of the show. I'm really happy they didn't bog it down for like modern audiences. It's the exact same as it was years ago. So it's just crazy that all these years later they can pick this show up, and when Marvel actually puts in the fucking effort, this is what we get. And I'm just happy after the past couple of movies being pretty mediocre at best. This is just a great step in the right direction. I can't wait to see what they're going to do from here. I heard there's like a Marvel zombie show coming out. Me personally, if I could pick a show to get revived and just pick up, where it left off before, don't get me wrong, X-Men is fucking phenomenal. But if they could do that with the OG Spider-Man show from the 90s and they knock that out of the park, I think a lot of people would support that. With a zombie show coming out that is supposedly rated R, they still have What If going. There's a lot of animation going on for Marvel, and I always like DC the best, but I mean, if Marvel keeps doing what they're doing, I'm going to say for now, I like their newer animation style over DC, but I like DC's older animation the best. Like the old Justice League, that shit was the best. But yeah, if Marvel just keeps doing what they're doing now, man, I don't see people complaining. Nothing but positive stuff. There is a couple of like things that people are bitching about this show. Like they made this guy non-binary, but when you're watching the show, they never say that. They never shove it in your face. The dude, there's no messages or anything shoved in your face, and people are. I don't know where they're getting this information from. Maybe it was a leak or something from the studio. I have no idea. But people are just getting the whole, sexuality thing thrown into here, and they're trying to just ruin the show for everyone else. If the show kind of threw that in my face, I would agree. But it's not. Like, I watched the show, had no problem, and then I just saw that comment, and I was like, what? This doesn't make sense. So, yeah, just don't listen to people. Go watch these 2 episodes. They're only a half hour long. It's so nice. Episodes come out weekly, and it just feels like a Sunday morning cartoon all over again, just like when you were a kid. So, that's pretty much all I gotta say. I can't wait. If Marvel keeps doing shit like this, I'm so in. I'll never get bored of it. I really, really hope that there's more opportunities for more animated shows or movies. I love my live action, but animation, you can just do so much more, and it looks way better. So, yeah, that's basically the review. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace out.